Colorado High School Activities Association football is on B106 and B106.com. Tonight from Legion Field in Fort Morgan, the Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Skyline Falcons. Good evening, everyone. Along with Kevin Rohde, I'm Brian Nickel. Kevin, another beautiful night in Morgan County for high school football.
Yes, Brian, tonight we can finally say welcome to fall, as the fall equinox happened earlier today. It is an absolute gorgeous day by game's end. It's forecast to be only 67 degrees, so a really nice breeze. I think it's going to be a really good night for football.
Looks that way. Skyline comes in with a record of 1-2, as does Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan, I know this is a game that Fort Morgan is looking to win. Of course, every game is. But I believe this is a winnable game for them. And if they want to be in the playoffs and probably get a home field, they need to win this one tonight.
I agree with you there. I think this is going to be the one game all season where Fort Morgan is going to be evenly matched with the team. You know, when we went up against Berthoud early in the season, Berthoud was rebuilding. They were small, and we pretty much manhandled them. Came up against the Brush juggernaut. And they obviously are what they are, a very good team. And Fort Morgan wasn't quite up to that. They played with them really good for maybe 2.5 quarters, but gave in at the end. Last week, a very strong physical Thompson Valley. And tonight, Skyline, who, like you mentioned, is 1-2 as Fort Morgan is. But Skyline also has something in common with Fort Morgan. They played Thompson Valley the week before Fort Morgan did in a game that ended up, 34-14. They lost by 20 points. Fort Morgan, 24-14, lost by 10 points. I really think it's going to be an evenly matched game, and I think it's going to come down to whether Fort Morgan has cured their ills as far as mistakes and whether Skyline is going to make any mistakes.
Yeah, Fort Morgan came out in the second half last week and pretty well dominated that second half, so that should bode well for going into this game tonight.
My one worry as I look into this game and look at the stats is Skyline brings a quarterback who's 15th in 3A teams in passing, and he's 12th in 3A teams in rushing. So he's a dual threat. How Fort Morgan can handle Angstead, number 6 for Skyline, I think it's going to tell how the game goes, because to be honest with you, our pass defense has not really been up to where it needs to be.
And last week when Skyline played Erie, according to Max Preps, they had no yardage passing. They rushed 273 yards against Skyline. So hopefully that goes well for Fort Morgan, because Fort Morgan, that's their strong point, is their rushing game.
Well, you were saying that Erie didn't have any passing against.
Correct.
How many yards did Skyline have in that game?
Skyline had 108 yards passing and 153 yards rushing.
Yeah, they have a really good receiver in Javier Gonzalez, number 22. He's 24th in the state. He's got 5 carries for 84 yards, but he's also up there in rushing. I don't have his exact numbers, but he's their leading rusher as well. So, kind of a combination passing, running offense. We'll see how Fort Morgan handles it.
Yeah, that Garrett Angstead was 8 of 9 for 58 yards, and he also rushed the ball for 116 yards. So he's a busy guy on their team, that's for sure.
Well, I imagine Fort Morgan has, scouted them, and they know what they're going to do, and they're going to work towards that.
We're going to take a break here, and you're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, looks like Skyline will receive the ball to start off with. So the opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. With 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan, Ingmeyer Phillips can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. So Eric Kimball will kick off for Fort Morgan. Number 20, Israel Valdez, is back for Skyline. Got the go-ahead from the referee. Kimball, nice deep kick. Takes it at the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Fumbles the ball. It's down at the 36. We'll see who has recovered.
I didn't catch who caused that fumble, but the ball went flying forward as
they're saying that the Mustangs have recovered the ball. So it'll be Fort Morgan ball at the 36-yard line. So that's a good way to start the night off.
All right, we talked about mistakes, and it looks like Skyline is guilty of the first one. Let's hope Fort Morgan can capitalize on that.
So Morgan huddled up here, getting ready to run the first play of the night. Up to the line. Set in their flex formation. Two receivers, one setback. Alexander in motion. It's handoff up the middle to Jared Bohm to about the 32-yard line. So that's a gain of 4. That'll be 2nd and 6 from the 32.
It looks like Fort Morgan is starting off with its traditional power game, and after scouting the film and looking at the stats, I think that's a good move for Chisholm.
Second down and 6 from the 32. 11:20 left in the first period. Fort Morgan's trying to take advantage of the fumble on the kickoff from Skyline. James Martin's under center, power formation. Nate Alexander off the right side to about the 30 for a gain of 2. So that'll be about 3rd and 4 from the 30.
At this point in the game, that deep in their territory, I think it's 4-down territory, although I'm sure he'd rather pick up a first down on this 3rd down play.
Yeah, it'd be nice. They don't want to have the pressure having to pick that up on 4th down. Right now they're not getting a lot of push up front, but I think it'll come. Martin's under center. Full house backfield. Handoff to Nate Alexander over the left side. He's down to the 20. Oh, it tripped up and down to the 14-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 14.
That was a really nice play. He broke a couple tackles, and then he was one tackle away from making it, and the kid tripped up his feet, and he couldn't make it.
So he had a nice 16-yard gain there to get down to the 14-yard line. Martin's getting the call relayed in from the sideline. So we'll see how Fort Morgan attacks it this time. Martin's under center. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Cody Davis around the right side. He is down at about the 11-yard line. So that's a gain of 3. So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 11-yard line.
Cody went around right, a student body right type play where all the blockers were leading. They really had everybody sealed, and one defender snuck through behind the blocks and got them and slowed them up enough, kept them from going for 6 on that play.
So 2nd and 7 from the just outside the 10. So Morgan set in their flex formation. Martin's under center. Davidson motion to the left. Gets the pitch left. He has blocking out to the left. It's open. He's at the 5. Touchdown. Fort Morgan. Cody Davis from the 10-yard line. Fort Morgan 6, Skyline nothing. 9:11 left in the first period.
That was a beautiful play, just like the last one, except this was more of a quick pitch with Davis going in motion off the left side. I think Fort Morgan has let us know what their plan is, and Skyline better come up with an answer for that running play, or they're going to be down and out.
Yeah, that's Morgan's strength, and Erie did that to Skyline last week for 273 yards. So we'll see if Fort Morgan can convert on the extra point here. Jacob Frick to attempt the extra point. Ball down, up, kick, and it is good. So that makes the score 7-0. Fort Morgan with 9:11 left in the first period.
You know, Frick is really doing good. I don't know if you heard that cannon over the air, but every time you come to Legion Field, you have to be ready for that. But Frick is up there in state. He's 7th in scoring in the state with, or not 7th scoring, with kicking. 19th as PAT. That makes him 7 for 8 on the season.
So I'm glad to see that. That's something we've been kind of missing in the past, is somebody that can kick the extra points for us. We have a good kicker this year. Apparently he was the kicker last year, just didn't have the confidence or has the experience now to get it done. So Eric Kimball lining up the ball on the 40. Get the okay from the referee, and he approaches the ball, kicks it. It'll be taken at the 15, 20, 25, 30. He's out on the left side. Nope, brought down yet. He is out to the 40, at the 40-yard line for Skyline. So it looks like they're going to mark it about the 41. So it'll be 1st and 10, Skyline from the 41.
He broke through the pack off to the left side. Fort Morgan player had a chance to get him, tried to tackle him high, and he shook it off and got another 10 yards.
So we'll see what Skyline comes out with. See if Fort Morgan can hold him here on this first set of downs. Skyline quarterback under center. Man in motion left. Hands off up the middle for a gain of about 6 yards. They're going to mark it out to about the 43-yard line. So it's going to be we're going to call it 2nd and 5 from the 43.
That was just power up the middle. I didn't catch the runner on that one. It was the fullback.
Skyline up to the line of scrimmage. Man in motion to the left. Handoff up the middle. He is close to the first down, out to about the 48-yard line of Fort Morgan. He's about a half a yard short or so of the first down, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 1 from the they're going to call timeout here and measure, see how close he really is here. This Fort Morgan timeout is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life, home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call today at 842-4555. Also, Valley View Villa. Look to the team at Valley View for rehab, short-term or long-term care needs. Stop by 815 Fremont or call them today, 867-8261. And it is a first down for Skyline.
That's their fullback, McEntee, number 47, fullback.
Skyline up to the line, men in motion right to the left. Takes the snap, hands it off to number 27. He has got, that's about 5 yards. We'll call it down to the 43-yard line. So we got 2nd and 5 from the 43.
That was just fullback led up there and blocked that time, and
so Fort Morgan
for 5.
Needing to buckle down here a little bit, stop this run. Skyline to the line. Man in motion left to right. Stops behind the handoff up the middle. He gets about 4. I think he's just going to be short of the first down. He's down to about the 39 of Fort Morgan. So I'll bring up 3rd and 1 from the 39.
So there's on the carry.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 1. They've been able to get 3 or 4 yards every play. Fort Morgan's going to have to figure out some way to stunt inside and stop that.
6:45 left in the first period. Fort Morgan up 7-0. Skyline at 3rd and 1 at the 39. Under center. Quarterback takes it, hands off to number 27, and he goes down, but not until he gets a first down. So he's down to about the 42-yard line for Skyline. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 42. Excuse me. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 37.
That was a nice run of 2 yards there. Quezada only had 1 carry for Skyline coming in. I wonder if their horse, Valdez or Caballero, is hurt.
Skyline up to the line, takes the handoff, gets down to about the 32-yard line. So that'll make it 2nd down for Skyline. It'll be about 2nd and 5 from the 32.
3rd carry for McEntee, their fullback. 2 of their leading rushers, well, actually their 3 leading rushers haven't carried the ball yet for them.
Mixing it up a little bit. Skyline to the line. Takes the snap, pitches it left. Back going left. He is down at about the, see where they mark it. It's going to be right about the 30, just inside the 30. So I'll bring up 3rd and 3 for Skyline from the 30.
Right at the 30-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
So far, Brian, there hasn't been a single pass in the game. I guess we'll just expect to see both teams with the power running game, which neither defense seems to have an answer for.
Skyline to the line of scrimmage. Man in motion left to right. Quarterback takes the ball, hands off to the right. The man is down to the 20, about the 23-yard line. Enough for the 1st down for Skyline. So it will be 1st and 10 from the 23 for Skyline.
A nice run for Valdez, his 2nd run of the night.
Skyline moving down the field here, taking their time, but making progress as they go. So Justin Forsyth is the quarterback under center. Sends his man in motion, takes the ball, hands off up the middle, and he is down to the 15-yard line. So that's a gain of about 8. So it'll be 2nd and 3 from the 15.
You know, Brian, I'm really amazed that Angstead isn't starting. Here's the guy we talked about his high stats and everything. I wonder whether he's hurt or ineligible, or maybe some disciplinary action where he's going to sit out first half. But boy, Forsyth's doing a great job of leading him down the field.
Skyline takes the ball, hands off to the man on the outside, and he gets down to about the 10. It's going to be just short of the 10. That's enough for a 1st down for Skyline. So Skyline will have 1st and 10 from the 11. With 3:52 left in the 1st period. Fort Morgan up 7-0 with Skyline driving.
That's the 5th run by the fullback, McEntee, and they've ran 4 times to the tailback, who they're switching off between Quezada and Valdez, and Fort Morgan doesn't have an answer for this running game.
So Skyline to the line, I formation, puts his man in motion, takes the ball, hands off to number 27. He is a tough runner. He is down to about the 4-yard line.
The carry over the left side.
So it'll be about 2nd and 3 from the 4.
Chris Pineda on the tackle.
That offensive line of Skyline just seems to move the entire line of scrimmage about 2 or 3 yards before the running back even gets the ball.
2nd down and 4.
I have a timeout right now. Fort Morgan has called a timeout.
Timeout Fort Morgan.
With the score 7-0, Fort Morgan with 3:14 left in the 1st period. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustang football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field in Fort Morgan with Kevin Rohde. I'm Brian Nickel. Fort Morgan up 7-0 with 3:14 left in the 1st period. Skyline currently on a 13-play drive. They are down to about the 3-yard line and can pick up a 1st down at the 1. So they're getting ready to snap the ball. They're up to the line of scrimmage. Justin Forsyth under center sends his man in motion. Hands off to the tailback, and he is brought down short of the 1st down. Looks like they're going to put it at about the 2-yard line. So it's going to be, looks like it's still going to be about 3rd and 2 from the Must be from about the 3-yard line.
Ball placed at the 3-yard line. 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, Quezada seems between him and McAtee, they're the workhorses for him tonight.
So 3rd and 2. Skyline up to the line. Forsythe under center. Takes the ball, hands off up the center to number 27.
McKenzie over the left side.
He is not in. They've stopped the clock to see if he has made the first down. They're calling it 4th down and short for Skyline. So they're just short.
Going to bring up a 4th down and
Still
goal.
about 4th and
1.
it's about 4th and 1 from just outside the 1.
That timeout for Fort Morgan seemed to have worked. After that, they've stopped him for 1 yard both times.
So Forsythe gets the Falcons up to the line, has under center, takes the ball, hands off up the middle to number 27, and he is in for the Skyline touchdown. So that makes it 7-6 Fort Morgan with 2:07 left in the first period.
I didn't think there was any question that they were just going to power it up the middle with McKenzie on that run. Well, Fort Morgan's going to have to answer, and it'll be whoever stops the other team for maybe one drive, maybe the winner in this game.
So Skyline ready for the extra point. Snap, ball, down, kick, up, and it is good. So we're all tied up at 7-7 with 2:07 left in the first period.
The score is Skyline 7, Fort Morgan 7.
So B&B Appliance. B&B Appliance at 502 Ensign in Fort Morgan can help you save water, energy, and the environment without sacrificing quality and performance. Change for the better with B&B Appliance. T.O. Charlie's. T.O. Charlie's, located at 700 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan, will not be beat by anyone when it comes to price. They'll help you find a car that fits your needs and budget. If you don't see what you want, T.O. Charlie's will find it for you. Log on to TOCharliesFTM.com to view inventory, current specials, and apply for a loan online. Drive away with confidence at T.O. Charlie's. Fort Morgan ready to receive the ball. Skyline is getting ready to kick off. They have got the okay from the ref to go up to kick. Nate Alexander deep for Fort Morgan. He will take it at the 5, at the 10, 15, 20, 25. He is down at about the 25, 20. He's going to be down at the 27-yard line. So it'll be Fort Morgan 1st and 10 from the 27.
Skyline obviously didn't scout Fort Morgan very good. It's their kick into Alexander. Had the great returns, 2 returns last week. Although this time the kick was a little bit higher, and there was a huge hole up the middle. He was just a little late getting up to it.
So Fort Morgan up to the line of scrimmage. James Martins has them under center in their flex formation. Hands off up the middle to Jared Bohm for a gain of 3. So it'll be 2nd and 7 from about the 31-yard line.
Second down and 7.
Fort Morgan back to that inside running to kind of loosen them up and then try and spring it outside on Skyline.
So Martins has them up to the line in their flex formation. Bohm in the backfield. Cody Davis in motion, takes the pitch coming left. He has it to the 30, 35. Oh, he trips and is down. They're calling him down at the, we're going to say the 41, just outside the 40. So we'll call it 1st and 10 Fort Morgan
That's going to be a Mustang. First down
at the 40-yard line. Nice run by Cody Davis.
That's the second time Davis has gotten around the end. That time the wide receiver did get the block, and the defender didn't slow him down. He was tripped up by one guy, otherwise he would have had another 15, 20 yards.
So we have 1:03 left in the first period with the clock running. Game tied at 7.
Davis was quite the star in the Berthoud game, and we haven't heard a great deal from him since. He had a better game last week, but against Brush he really didn't do much.
So Martins takes the handoff, takes the pitch, gets it to Alexander around the right side. He is dropped for a loss of about 2 yards back to the 48-yard line. So that'll make it 2nd and 12 from the 38.
I'm not sure where that play was supposed to go. It was a pitch and looked like the defensive ends had boxed in really good, and he decided to turn it up, and there was nowhere inside to run either.
So 20 seconds left in the first period. Fort Morgan with the ball at the 38-yard line. Martins under center. Takes the ball, drops back to throw. It's a wide open pass to Cody Davis at the 40, at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Cody Davis. What a beautiful play from Martins to Cody Davis for the touchdown for Fort Morgan.
Boy, he hit him in stride, and he had 10 yards on any defender when they got that ball. That was the last thing Skyline expected.
They weren't expecting that at all. So now it makes that now 13-7 Fort Morgan with 0.6 of a second left on the clock. Jacob Frick lining up for the touchdown, for the extra point. Ball down, kick up, and it is no good. Off to the right. So with 0.6 of a second left in the first period, that makes it 13-7 Fort Morgan.
Wow, what a passing play. Caught Skyline with their pants down on that one, and you know, it's what they needed. Why would Skyline not think that we would pass on 2nd and 12, even though we'd ran every play up to that point?
It was wide open, that was for sure, and he hit him in stride, as you said. And it was Martins laid it right into him. He didn't have to break stride. He just caught it about the 40, and he was gone.
This turns out to be a horse race to see who ends up scoring last to win. That missed extra point by Frick could end up being critical. Skyline's point after kicker hasn't missed yet, and he's got 1 field goal on the year.
So Rick Kimball has the ball on the tee. Kick, nice deep kick taken at the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. He is down right about the 35-yard line for Skyline. So that brings the first quarter to an end. Fort Morgan 13, Skyline 7. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustang football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field in Fort Morgan with Kevin Rohde. I'm Brian Nickel. Just getting ready to start the second period. Fort Morgan up 13-7. Skyline will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 35.
This quarter, Skyline will be going from right to left on your dial. The Mustangs scoring in the southeast end zone this quarter.
So Skyline, both teams are ready, just waiting for the referees to give the signal.
Fort Morgan's got their freshman Toby McBride starting at nose guard tonight.
So Skyline under center. Takes the ball, hands off, and a nice stop that time for a gain of 1 to the 36-yard line. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9 from the 36.
He did a really good job of making a pile in the middle there. He just burrowed under his man. And that's what Fort Morgan needs to do, is pile up inside on that line so that they have to run outside.
It's a nice stop. 2nd and 9 from the 36 for Skyline. Break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Set in the I formation. Justin Forsythe is the quarterback. Takes the ball, hands off to the first man he sees. And that is a gain of about 2. So we'll call it out to the 43. So that'll be 3rd and 7 from the 43.
3rd down and 7.
I think Fort Morgan may have come up with an answer for their offense. All of a sudden, after that timeout, maybe it's the adjustment of moving one guy over into a different slot. But since then, Skylines ran for 1, 1, 2, 1, and 2 yards.
So Fort Morgan has slowed him down here. Skyline in their I formation. Forsythe takes the snap, keeps it. He's looking downfield. He's pressured, and it is an incomplete pass out at the 50-yard line. So that'll bring up fourth down, 4th and 7 from the 39-yard line.
Would be interesting to know what exactly happened to Angstead, why he's not playing.
He was their big man last week, that's for sure. So Ulysses Hernandez is back. Nice high punt. Caught and then dropped and then picked up by Ulysses Hernandez out to the 32-yard line.
Ulysses Hernandez on the return. Crosses the 32, about the 33-yard line.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10 Fort Morgan. Let's see where they mark it at. From the 33-yard line.
Skyline, that's going to be about 1st down. 33.
So James Martin's getting the play into the huddle. Fort Morgan to the line. Set in their I formation this time. Wide receivers left and right. Martin's under center. Takes the snap. Hands off to Nate Alexander up the middle. And it's a gain of about 5. So we're going to call it 2nd and 5 from the 37.
Gain of 4. 2nd down and 6.
So 2nd and 5 from the 37 for Fort Morgan. 13-7 Fort Morgan with just under 10 minutes to go in the second period. So Martin's under center in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Martins takes it, hands off to Nate Alexander over the left side, and he is down to the 40. He's out to the 46-yard line, so that is enough for Fort Morgan 1st down. So it'll be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the 46-yard line.
Little play where Bohm's leading up the way and blocking and making a nice hole for Alexander. That's his 5th carry of the night.
Martins has him up to the line, I formation, receivers left and right. Martins with the ball, hands off to Bohm up the middle. That's a gain of about, we're going to call it 1.
Bohm up the middle.
So that'll be 2nd and 9 from the 47.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Bohm running hard, but that time Skyline had it figured out.
No room there. They've been, Fort Morgan seems to have better luck running outside a little bit more, so we'll see what they come up with. Martins has the Mustangs to the line, I formation. Receivers left and right. Martins under center with the ball. Hands off to Nate Alexander over the left side. He's down to the 45, down to the 43. And that is enough for a 1st down for Fort Morgan. So it'll be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the 42-yard line.
That's going to be a Mustang 1st down.
That left cornerback for Skyline is going to remember that hit because he took on Alexander standing straight up, and Alexander planted his helmet in his chest and ran over him for another 5 yards.
So Morgan moving the ball once again in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Bohm and Alexander in the backfield. Martins takes it, hands off to Alexander over the left side, and he is down to the 35-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 7. So that'll bring up 2nd and 3 from the 35.
Just like the last play, except this time I think it was the free safety that came up and took him on high. Alexander's letting him know, Fort Morgan football, you better hit us low or we're going to take you for a couple more yards and land on you.
So Morgan moving the ball right now. 2nd and 3 at the 35. 13-7 Fort Morgan, 7:50 left in the first half of play. Fort Morgan to the line in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Martin's under center. Bowman Alexander lined up behind him. Martin's looking to pass. It's a deep pass. He's got Cody Davis. It is just incomplete down about the goal line. Just short for Cody Davis.
Yeah, and Martin's defense, he took a shot right in the chest as he let that thing go, and it was just inside, or it would have been another 6 yards. Now he's down on the field trying to get up.
So we have a injury timeout on the field right now. So with 7:38 left in the first half, Fort Morgan 13, Skyline 7. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field in Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan up 13-7 with 7:38 left in the second period. Martin's out for at least a play. Joey Schneider is now in for Fort Morgan at quarterback. So he has them up to the line in the I formation. Bowman Alexander hands off to Alexander over the left side, and he is close to a first down, not quite to it. It looks like it's going to be it'll be 4th and 1 from the 33.
Big play for the Fort Morgan offense. Mustang fans can be happy to see Martin's come back in. I wonder if we'll see their standard 4th and short play with Martin sneaking it up the middle.
So Fort Morgan up to the line in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Bowman Alexander in the I formation. Martin's still under center, trying to get him to draw off. We have a flag on the play, so we're going to see who this is on. It's a dead ball offsides on Skyline, so that'll be a first down for Fort Morgan.
That's going to be a Mustang first
So
down.
they accomplished what they set out to do, is to draw Skyline offsides.
That's always smart to try and take a long snap and see if you can get them to do that. Just the first penalty of the night by either team. So a pretty well-played game. Just one fumble and one penalty, both by Skyline.
So 1st and 10 from the 27 for Fort Morgan in the I formation. Bowman Alexander in the I. Hands off to Alexander over the right side, and he is busting it down inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. So that'll bring up second. Let's see where they marked it, the 18. So it's going to be about 2nd and 2 from the 18 for Fort Morgan.
I can't say enough about how hard Alexander's running. He's running with reckless abandon into that hole and gaining a lot of yards each time.
So Morgan to the line in the I formation. Martin's under center. Takes the ball, hands off to Jared Bowman. And he's going to be dropped for a loss of about 2 back to the 20-yard line. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 4 from the 20 for Fort Morgan.
Baum got into the yard, into the line of scrimmage, and was stuffed. And I guess as a coach, you need to let your fullback know you just run north and south, because when he tried to go to the side, that's when he lost some yards.
So Fort Morgan to the line in the I formation again. Receivers left. Time it's a handoff to Nate Alexander over the left side. And not much there. We'll say we got down to the 19. So it's going to be 4th and 3 from the 19.
Just inside the 20.
5:10 left in the second quarter. Fort Morgan 13, Skyline 7.
That time he cut it inside like he has on a few other plays, but the defense was there. I think he had a better opening to the outside.
So we'll see if Fort Morgan can pick up the first down here. Keep this drive alive. So Fort Morgan back to their flex formation. Cody with Nate Alexander in motion with a pitch to the right. He's down to the 20. He is down to 15. Down to the 10. But we have a flag on the play. So we'll see what that's all about. Probably be they have a face mask on Skyline. So that'll bring up a first down for them. So they will tack on the yardage. So it should be 1st and goal inside the 10. It's just a 5-yard face mask. So it'll be 1st and goal for Fort Morgan from the 6-yard line.
In high school, there's only 15-yard face masks, but because it was at the 11, it's half the distance to the goal.
Okay.
But another great run, and he was running hard, and then the little bonus of having the penalty added on. Fort Morgan should be able to punch it in from the 6-yard line.
So 1st and 10. Fort Morgan in a T formation. Martin's under center. Takes the ball and hands it to Nate Alexander over the right side. And he is down to about the 3-yard line. So we're going to call it 2nd and goal from the 3.
Fights his way inside the 5 to about the 3-yard
I think
line.
they'll just keep running that fullback ISO where the fullback goes up and isolates on the linebacker until Skyline gets an answer for it. That's Alexander's 12th carry of the game.
He is the workhorse tonight. So Fort Morgan up to the line in the power formation. Martin's under center. Nate Alexander, this time it's a handoff to Cody Davis around the left side, and he looks like he will be in for the Fort Morgan touchdown. He is in with 3:29 left in the first half. So that makes it Fort Morgan 19, Skyline 7 with the extra point coming up.
Remember when we talked first game about how Cody Davis was the man? Tonight, that's his 3rd touchdown of the game. He scored all 3, 2 on runs and 1 on a pass play of 62 yards.
So Jacob Frick in for the extra point try. Martin's kneeling down, gets the ball down, and it is good. So that makes it Skyline 7 with 3:29 left in the first half. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Fort Morgan with Kevin Rohde. I'm Brian Nickel. Fort Morgan up 20-7 now over Skyline with 3:29 left in the first half. Fort Morgan lined up ready to kick off, and Eric Kimball kicks it down to Skyline at the 10, at the 15, at the 20, still at the 20, dogging around 20, up to about the 27-yard line. So it will be 1st and 10 Skyline from the 27.
If Fort Morgan can hold Skyline with just a little over 3 minutes left in the half, that would be fantastic.
See if Skyline comes out and tries to pass the ball at all, or if they're going to just keep continuing to run the ball. So they're in the shotgun formation now. 2 backs either side with the receivers left and right. Man in motion left. Takes the ball, hands off, and there is nothing there. And it is going to be 2nd and 10 with no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 27.
I think they were hoping that they could fool Fort Morgan into thinking they were going to pass from the shotgun. Fort Morgan's defense stayed home, played a great play, and now it puts Skyline in trouble at 2nd and 10.
So 2nd and 10 from the 27. Skyline up to the line of scrimmage. First in the shotgun formation as receivers spread left and right. Man in motion to the left. Stops. We have a stoppage of play. There was movement, illegal procedure movement on Skyline.
Looked like the right guard jumped a little bit.
And I think that man in motion also jumped towards the line. He was one to get a head start.
The kids are at 3 tonight, and a lot of the questions that we've talked about that we've had for the Fort Morgan team have, they're answering those.
So 2nd and 15 from the 23. Skyline in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Takes the ball, looks downfield. He's getting pressure. It's a screen pass to number 47. He is out to the 25, to the 30, out to the 35, to the about the 37-yard line. So he didn't quite pick up the first down, so we're going to call it 3rd and 1 from the 37.
That was definitely something that they scouted. if anyone watches the films against Fort Morgan, boy, are we susceptible to the screen.
So the refs have called a timeout. They're going to measure this to see if they've picked up the first down or not. Platte Valley Hearing Center. You don't have to travel out of town to receive the best and most advanced hearing health care. Visit Platte Valley Hearing Center, located at 409 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard, and they carry appliances now. Ackley Building Center, located at 1402 Mill Street in Brush.
Brian, this is the first chance I've had all season to mention the guys over on the chain crew for Fort Morgan home games is none other than our volunteer fire department. Been doing it since anyone can remember. Do a great job, not only volunteering to do the chains, but volunteering to protect Fort Morgan and the farmland around it.
They do an outstanding job. So it'll be 3rd and 1 from the 37 for Skyline. Skyline will be in the I formation. Forsythe under center. Takes the ball, hands off to the front man, and he has got enough for the first down. He is out to the 40-yard line. So that'll be Skyline 1st and 10 from the 40.
Fort Morgan's defense answering the call. Had the one bad play where they let the screen go. And in all actuality, the one guy who was spying on the screen had a chance to make the tackle for a loss, and McKenty just had a good run and got away from him.
So with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half, Skyline with the ball in the shotgun formation. Snap back on the ground. He picks it up. He looks downfield, and it is knocked down. Nice play by number 35, Charlie Rodriguez.
Knocked down by Charlie Rodriguez.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 40.
Yeah, the senior defensive back did a good job of cutting in front of the receiver and getting a hand on. It's always risky when you do that. If you miss, then it's going to be a big game, but he judged it right on that one.
Sky, we have a timeout. Timeout, Fort Morgan, I believe. So with 1:44 left in the first half, Fort Morgan 20, Skyline 7. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field in Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan 20, Skyline 7 with 1:44 left in the first half. 2nd and 10 for Skyline from the 40. Skyline up to the line in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right, with 1 lone back in the backfield. Man in motion, takes the ball around the left end and is down 45 to about the 45. So it'll be 3rd and 5 from the 45 for Skyline.
Skyline not taking their timeout. They may just be conceding this half. I'm kind of surprised with that.
So Skyline up to the line in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Single back in the backfield. Man in motion left to right. Looking to pass. He's under pressure. He's hit when it is incomplete. So that brings up 3rd and 5 from the 45. 4th and 5 from the 45, excuse me.
Good pressure up the middle and good coverage out on the side. Yeah, it would have took a perfect pass to lay that one in as the kid was going to the sideline.
He had enough pressure. He was kind of thrown off his back foot and threw it well out of bounds. Now we have a timeout. Skyline. So with 1:06 left in the first half, Fort Morgan 20, Skyline 7. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field in Fort Morgan with Kevin Rohde. I am Brian Nickel. 20-7 Fort Morgan with 1:06 left in the first half. Skyline took the control of the ball at the 27 and have moved it out to about the 45-yard line. So it is 4th and 5 at the 45 for Skyline.
I can appreciate the coach wanting to take a chance on 4th and 5, but in their own territory with this amount of time, if they turn it over on downs and Fort Morgan scores, this game's over.
In the shotgun formation, handoff around the left side. He has got the first down. He is down to Fort Morgan territory. Down to the 40, about to the 48-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Skyline from the 48.
Skyline first down.
Well, he won the gamble, and I guess it'll go down that he made the right decision on that one.
So they're up to the line in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Waiting for the snap, running a lot of time off. Takes the ball, look downfield. He's getting pressure. He throws it, and it's going to be intercepted by Fort Morgan at the 30-yard line with 43 left in the first half. Fort Morgan 20, Skyline 7. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30 for Fort Morgan.
We talked earlier about mistakes, and now Skyline has made all the mistakes. They've got a couple penalties, a couple turnovers, and Fort Morgan's going to go into the half with a comfortable 20-7 lead.
So we'll see if Fort Morgan comes out and just kneels on this. They believe they only have, 1 timeout left, so I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball too much. But they are coming out 2 receivers left and 2 receivers right. Martin's under center. Hands off to Chris Pineda around the left end. He is down out to about the 32-yard line with 35 seconds left. Timeout. Fort Morgan.
It's Pineda's first run for 2 yards.
So 2nd and 9 from the 31-yard line.
I'm thinking that this is a little bit too much of a risk at this time. Go in with a 13-point lead rather than risk a turnover, and especially this deep in your own territory.
Yeah, there's no need to push it here. They've controlled other than Skyline with that one drive, Fort Morgan has controlled the game other than that one drive. So we'll see what Coach Chisholm has come up with, see what he wants to do here. So Fort Morgan up to the line. We have 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. So we'll see if they're going to go deep or if they're going to hand off to Nate Alexander. We'll see. Martin's under center. Takes the ball. Throws it out to the left, and it's an incomplete pass to Cody Davis out on the right end. So now it's going to be 3rd and 9 from the 31.
3rd down and 9.
At this point, I'd really be surprised if they don't drop to a knee.
So Martin's with the play, taking it into the huddle.
Although Skyline has some timeouts left, they might force Fort Morgan to punt in this situation.
So 29.5 seconds left. 20-7 Fort Morgan in the first half. Martin's under center. 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Alexander in the backfield. Martins takes it. They're looking to pass. We're going to see if he's looking, and he throws it away. So with 23 seconds left, it's going to be 4th and 9 from the 31.
It's going to bring up a 4th down and 9.
So Fort Morgan will have to punt back to Skyline.
Fort Morgan better be punting from tight formation, because you've got to bet Skyline's coming after it. This is their one shot to make this first half not a huge deficit.
Tony Swetzik back in the punt formation. Nate Alexander, the up back. 23 seconds left. Oh, a snap almost over his head. Gets the punt off. It's not a very good punt. It lands out at the 45 and it rolls to the 49 of Fort Morgan. So it will be 1st and 10 Skyline with 14.3 seconds left in the first half. Fort Morgan leading 20-7.
I guess that's why I'm up here and the coaches are down there. But I still have a hard time understanding why you would want to even take the chance of giving Skyline any breathing room. when you clearly dominated first half.
Apparently they were trying to get some more points, but we'll see what Skyline comes out to do with 14.3 seconds left in the first half. They have 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap, looking downfield. He's under pressure. He lets the ball go. Gets caught at the 31, and he is down at the 31. With 6 seconds left, it is be 1st and 10 Skyline from about the, I'm going to call it 31. Skyline is calling a timeout. So with 6 seconds left in the first half, Fort Morgan 20, Skyline 7. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field in Fort Morgan with Kevin Rohde. I'm Brian Nickel. We have 6 seconds left in the first half. Fort Morgan 20, Skyline 7. 1st and 10 from the 31 for Skyline. They're going to try a field goal from the 39. This is going to be a 49-yard field goal for Skyline.
Watch the fake.
Well, it's a fake. So he's under pressure. Throw it back to number 27. He's got it down to the 10. We have a flag on the play. So there's no time left on the clock, but I don't know if it's. We'll have to see what the flag is.
It's a defensive penalty. They would have another chance.
So it is down. They're marking it at about the 6-yard line, or about the 7. We'll see what the penalty is. It's illegal block in the back on Skyline, so they'll decline that penalty and go to the half.
Wow, that was scary, Coach.
So at the end of the first half, Fort Morgan 20, Skyline 7. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field. Kevin Rohde and Brian Nickel. Fort Morgan up 20-7 over Skyline. I have a couple of scores from this past week from some local teams here. The Fort Morgan JVs beat Thompson Valley 44-15 on Monday. And then on Thursday, the Fort Morgan freshmen 28-7 over Skyline. And for the junior high kids, 7th grade Colts beat Yuma 46-0 on Tuesday. So we've got looks like some good young players that are coming up into the ranks for the Mustangs.
Funny you mentioned that. Just yesterday, I was at Safeway and I ran into Casey Wood, one of the middle school 7th grade football coaches. Coached with him back when I came, and I guess I was here for a few years before he came. I coached with him for several years, a good friend. He was telling me that this year's freshman class is loaded. This year's 8th grade and 7th grade are both loaded. Something like 4 or 5 really decent running backs in each of the 7th and 8th grade levels. He said he could hardly wait to see when this year's freshmen are seniors how well those 3 grades will play together. And he's predicting dominance for the Mustangs. As we talked about, there's always the issue of some of them becoming ineligible, some of them choosing to do other sports because at the middle school they're somewhat limited. Maybe some play soccer or golf. But for the most part, it looks like we're going to have a run of several good years of athletes coming up into Mustang football.
There'll be some exciting times for Fort Morgan, that's for sure. Soccer's been doing well this year, I know. I think they had their first defeat the other day, but that program has really come a long ways.
Now, speaking about the future, Fort Morgan next week will travel to Denver to All City Stadium to take on Denver North in a 1 o'clock Saturday game. Fort Morgan doesn't play a lot of day games, but have 2 on the schedule this year. Denver North 1-2 on the season. They're playing at Berthoud tonight, so we should have some sense, next week of where we stand up because we'll both have played the common foe of Berthoud.
So Fort Morgan ready to receive the opening kickoff here of the second half, up 20-7. So the ref has blown his whistle and ready for play. Ball is in the air. Well, we have apparently Skyline must have been offsides when they kicked the ball.
Unfortunately for Skyline, they take off this half in the same manner as they did last half. Now, I'm not saying that they made a ton of mistakes, but in a game like this where we talked about how it was going to be back and forth, they've made enough mistakes that their offense isn't efficient anymore, and Fort Morgan's able to be up 20-7.
So we'll get a re-kick here from the 35. Nate Alexander is deep. Ulysses Hernandez and Alexander Perez. Nice deep kick to Nate Alexander at the 10, 20, 25, over the 30, 35. We have flags on the play. He is out to about the 36-yard line, but there are 3 flags on the play, so they saw something apparently.
Something quite obvious because those flags were coming from 25 yards away.
And all at the same time, so we'll see what must have been. I think he said hold. I guess it was holding.
Guess maybe one of the defenders was trying to run after the play and they could see the jersey being pulled or something.
So holding on Fort Morgan, so that'll bring back a nice run for Nate Alexander. That'll bring it back to the, looks like to the 19-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the 19.
So a mistake for the Mustangs eliminates the good field position. Let's overcome that with a nice long 81-yard drive. Eat up about 8 minutes of the clock.
That would be a good way to start out the half. So Fort Morgan lines up in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Martin's under center. Takes a snap. Gives the ball to Nate Alexander. Up to about the 21-yard line. So we'll give him a gain of 2. So it'll be second Nate from the 22.
So far, Skyline has done a good adjusting to that play. That Alexander last half's running for an average of 6 yards. That time they had it red, and if he would have put forth a huge effort, he would have had a loss of 2 yards.
He's a strong young man, that's for sure. Morgan in the I formation, receivers left and right. Martin's under center. Takes the snap, hands off to Jared Boehm up the middle, and he makes his way out to the about the 26-yard line. So that'll bring up about third and 3 from the 26.
It's kind of like a game of cat and mouse at halftime. The other team goes and figures out how to stop the play that's really working for you, and then in the first couple plays, your coach is up in the scoreboard, the whatever, are figuring out what adjustments they made, and Fort Morgan picked up that maybe the inside's open, and maybe second half we'll see Boehm get a lot of yards.
So now Morgan in the I formation. Martin's under center, takes the snap, hands it off to Boehm up the middle. It looks like he's going to be short of the first down. So it's going to be fourth and 1 from the 29. They're looking it over now to see if they need to measure. They're going to call a timeout here. Official timeout for a measurement.
As at this point, the Fort Morgan coaches are thinking, do we take the chance up by 13 points early in the second half of even going for it on 4th and inches, especially with the bad snap to Swetzig in the first punt, and some trouble with that last week as well.
Yeah, that snap was almost over his head. So it's going to be 4th down and about 6 inches. So we'll see what Fort Morgan decides to do here. See if they want to just try to punch it up the middle, or if they're going to try to. It looks like they're going to go for it. So it'll be 4th down at the 29, 4th and inches. We have a stoppage in play again. The refs, we've got it back going again. So they're in the I formation. Martin's under center. But Martins takes it, and he has the first down. He is across the 30-yard line. So he's picked up the first down for Fort Morgan. So it'll be 1st and 10, Fort Morgan, just outside the 30-yard line.
That's going to be a Mustang. First down.
9:43 left in the third period. Fort Morgan up 20-7 over Skyline.
I don't know if the coaches were reading my mind, but I thought since the last time they went for the hard count and kind of a long drawn-out count, this time go up and go on first sound. And they did, and it caught Skyline a little bit off guard. Nice call by the coaches.
So Martins with a little keeper there. Gets him the first down. Fort Morgan coming back out in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Bowman Alexander in the backfield. Martin's under center. Takes it, looks to throw. Looking downfield. He's looking for Cody Davis downfield. And it is incomplete at about the 37-yard line. So they'll bring up 2nd and 10 on the 31 for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, if he would have put about 3 or 4 more yards on that one, it probably would have gone for 6 again. Not quite as open as first half, but he had a nice 5-yard bumper and had to come back and wait for that one.
So Fort Morgan 2nd and 10 from the 30.
Kind of reminds me of the old Raiders, stretching and playing the vertical game and saying we're going to stretch out and throw down the field every 3rd or 4th play just to make sure you're playing honest.
Fort Morgan handoff to Nate Alexander. Gets hit initially in the backfield. They're going to call him a no gain, so it's going to be 3rd and 10 from just inside the 30 now, from one side of the 30 to the other, but it's still going to be 3rd and 10 from the 30.
That was a lot of hard work for no yardage. So we haven't seen Fort Morgan in a long distance 3rd down, 3rd and 10. Let's see how they respond on this one.
Fort Morgan 3rd and 11 at the, well, now they've moved it back a little bit to the 29, so it'll be 3rd and 11 from the 29. Fort Morgan I formation, 2 receivers right. Bowman Alexander in the backfield. Martin's under center, takes the snap. Looks downfield, keeps looking, throws it, and it is incomplete at about the 45-yard line. So that'll bring up 4th and 11 from the 29 for Fort Morgan.
Skyline coaches in the next box, happy with the adjustments they've made at first half, and Fort Morgan's got to be able to go out there and play tough defense now and keep Skyline from climbing back in it.
So 4th and 11 from the 29. Tony Svetzik back to punt. 2 men deep for Skyline at about the 37-yard line. So Tony waiting. Nice. That was a lot better snap. Nice kick downfield. Fair caught at the 40-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10. Skyline from the 40. So with 8:11 left in the third period, Fort Morgan 20, Skyline 7. Buildings by Design. Buildings by Design and Brush takes pride in their workmanship and quality of their relationships with clients. For a free bid, call Pat Walter at 842-5837. Building today's business, Buildings by Design. Skyline up to the line in the shotgun formation, puts a man in motion, takes the snap, hands off over the right side. He gets about 6 yards out to the 46-yard line.
Nice hard running by Quezada.
So it'll be 2nd and 4 from the 46. So 2nd and 4 from the 46-yard line.
Looked a lot like their first drive. Let's hope Fort Morgan can adjust a little bit quicker.
So Skyline in the shotgun formation. Quarterback with the ball. Hands off over the left side. And he has got a gain down to the 35-yard line. So that is a first down. Down to the 45-yard line for Skyline. So that is a 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line for Skyline.
A nice little run by Valdez.
Skyline up to the ball now, under center, I formation. Takes the snap, hands off up the middle. There's not near the room there that there was before. It's a gain of about 2. We'll call it 2nd and 8 from the 43.
That's the first time they've given to their horse, McEntee, up the middle. And Fort Morgan's up for the challenge. They're not quite ready to give the middle up. Running to the outside off tackle. They seem a little weak, though.
So 2nd and 7 from the 43. Skyline in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Pitches it back to the running back, going right. He's down to the 40. Have a flag on the play. He is down to about the 37-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is.
Couple flags, one in a strange place in the defensive backfield, another one right where the blocking was, probably a hold or a block behind the back.
So we'll see what the referees have for us now. Looks like they're going to be marking it off. We have an illegal block in the back on Skyline, a chop block on Skyline, so not a good play for Skyline.
No wonder they got so many yards, Brian. No, it's really too bad for Skyline. You like to see teams come out and, defend against another team without them making a lot of mistakes. We'll take it any way we can, but I'm sure Coach Chisholm would agree we'd much rather them play a perfect game and still dominate and beat them.
So they took the illegal block in the back. So that will bring up 2nd down again from the 47. So it'll be 2nd and 18 from the 47 for Skyline. In the I formation. Quarterback drops back. Another screen pass. And it's to the 50, down to the 45. And that's about where he is down, at about the 44-yard line of Fort Morgan. So he got the yardage back off of the penalty.
Yeah, that was the old screenplay again, and I don't know what Fort Morgan needs to do to be able to stop that.
So Skyline up to the line in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Snap back to the quarterback. He's rolling out to the left. He's getting some pressure, and it is thrown and incomplete down about the 25-yard line. So that'll bring up 4th and 9 from the 43-yard line.
Ulysses Hernandez on the cover. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 9.
So I would guess Skyline is going to probably go for it. They're in that no punt area here.
I don't know. I'd be tempted to put Fort Morgan in a hole, try and get it out at the 10 or something, and because they did stop them on defense last time out. But I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Maybe they'll do the long snap, or long count, try and get 5 yards, and then make it a more manageable play.
So 4th and 9, shotgun formation, 2 receivers left and right. Quarterback back, throws the ball, and it is going to be almost incomplete. Well, it was incomplete. It was almost intercepted by Fort Morgan. But it was incomplete, so that brings up 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan from the 49-yard line.
Yeah, good defensive stand there for Fort Morgan after Skyline showed a little bit of fire and a little bit of success. Let's see if Fort Morgan can get that offense going now with better field position.
5:39 left in the 3rd period. Fort Morgan up 20-7. Fort Morgan first down from the 43-yard line. Handoff to Nate Alexander over the right side. He gets out to about the 47. So we'll call it, it's probably a gain of 2, so it'll be 2nd and 8 from the 46.
Alexander's going to have to work a lot harder this half on getting those yards. Looks like the linebackers are keying and coming hard just off tackle to get to him.
So 2nd and 8 from the 47. Fort Morgan I formation. Receivers left and right. Martin's under center. Takes the ball. Pitches to Alexander left. He's taking it left outside across the 50 down to the 45. Tripped up and down at the 45-yard line for a first down for Fort Morgan.
That was a really nice run. He broke through a couple arm tackles that could have brought him down for a loss, and then there was no one there for about 8 yards. A really nice carry.
So Fort Morgan, 1st and 10 from the 45. Leading 20-7 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third period. Fort Morgan lined up in their flex formation. Martin's under center. Alexander in motion, left to right. He gets the pitch down to the 45, to the 40, down to the 35-yard line. So that will be just inside the 35. So that is a first down for Fort Morgan, just inside the 35-yard line.
I really like how hard Alexander's running. I'm a little bit worried, though, on that run towards the end. He ran with his head way down, and that's how kids get hurt in football, is not having proper position. Yeah, you think he's just getting tired, and I think they took him out and gave him a break because he's gassed.
So Fort Morgan up to the line, flex formation. Inside handoff to Cody Davis around the left side at the 40, down to the 35, down to the 20. He is out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
We were talking about the linebackers keying. They ran that action to the right side, and this time had Cody, who was lined up as a wingback, just come back on a nice cross-buck, kind of inside reverse. And, boy, they caught him napping, and that was a nice run. Good blocking downfield for him.
So Fort Morgan, 1st and 10 from the 20 in their flex formation. Martin's under center. Jared Bohm up the middle. Carries the ball, gets about 2 down to the
straight up the middle.
Down to the 18-yard line. So we'll call it 2nd and 8 from the 18.
Got to keep them honest up the middle. Once they start sending those linebackers crashing to the outside, Bohm's going to break one.
So 2nd and 8 from the 18. Martin's just now getting the play into the huddle. Fort Morgan breaks the huddle in their flex formation. Receivers left and right. Jared Bohm lone back. Martin's Cody Davis in motion to left or right. Martins keeps it over the left side down to about the 14-yard line. So that will bring up 3rd down. About 3rd and 3 from the 14-yard line.
A little surprising that that's only Martin's 2nd carry. He usually carries the ball a little bit more for the Mustangs. Had that nice sneak for a first down when it was 4th and 1 on the first drive of the half.
So Fort Morgan in their flex formation. Martin's under center, Bohm lone back. Chris Pineda in motion, left right. He gets the pitch. He is down to the 15. Taken down at about the 13-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and
It's going to be stopped just about at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be 4th and 2 from about the 12.
Yeah, he was abused on that one, thrown around kind of like a rag doll by one of the bigger players and hit by several other players. I'm surprised he's able to hold on to the ball. Nice tough run for him to even get 1 yard.
So 2:10 and counting left in the third period. Fort Morgan 20, Skyline 7. 4th and 2 from the 13 for Fort Morgan. So lined up in their flex formation. Jared Bohm is the lone back. Martin's under center. We have a flag on the play. Looks like Skyline jumped. And they did. It was an offsides on Skyline. So that'll bring up a first down for Fort Morgan. That worked for him this time, and it worked for him in the first half just the same way.
That's going to be a Mustang first down and goal.
Well, the coaching staff for Skyline's just got to be wanting to pull their hair out. They finally have a decent stand down low, and they can keep themselves in the game, and then a kid makes a mistake like that. Nice play by Fort Morgan, though, to get the hard count and get them drawn off.
So first and goal from the 7 for Fort Morgan with the minute 40 left in the third period. Fort Morgan in their flex formation. Martin's under center. Cody Davis in motion, left to right, gets the pitch left. He's going into the touchdown, into the end zone for the touchdown for Cody Davis from 6 yards out. So that puts Fort Morgan up 26-7 with a minute 27 left in the third period.
Well, who else is going to score for Fort Morgan, Ryan? We've got Cody Davis now involved in 4 trips to the end zone. What a game for this young man.
I think the other kids want to change their name to Cody Davis. Maybe they'll get the ball and be able to score.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jacob Frick in for the extra point. Martins is the holder. Frick the kicker. Ball back down. It is up, and it is good. So that makes it Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 7 with 1:27 left in the third period. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field in Fort Morgan with Kevin Rohde. I'm Brian Nickel. Minute 27 left in the third period. Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 7. Fort Morgan ready to kick off. Eric Kimball getting the signal to go ahead. Has a nice kick down to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And the runner for Skyline is finally brought down at the 40, at their own 49-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, Skyline from the 49.
Good field position for the Skyline Falcons. Hopefully Fort Morgan's defense can answer the call again. They've only allowed that one long drive. And Skyline seems still anxious to play. They're hurrying up to the line to get after it.
So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan Skyline from the 49. Handoff over the right side. It's a game of about 2, but there has been a flag thrown after the play. And it looks like it will be against Skyline for either a late hit or unnecessary roughness. So we'll see what they... There's a dead ball foul, personal foul on Skyline.
That's unfortunate that you got a chance maybe to crawl back in here, and some of the frustration that your kids are feeling, they're acting out on the field.
So that'll bring up 2nd down since it was a dead ball foul. So 2nd down from the 36-yard line for Skyline. So they're lined up in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Man in motion. Quarterback looking out, looking to throw the man in motion to the 30. Out to the 35 and down about the 37-yard line. So it's only a gain of about 1. So it'll be 3rd and 24 from the 37-yard line.
3rd down and 23.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to come up with a play in high school for 2nd and 23, 3rd and 23.
So with 30 seconds left in the third period, Fort Morgan up 27-7 over Skyline. Skyline with the ball, 3rd and 23 at the 37. So they send receivers, 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Empty backfield in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap, rolls out to his right, getting pressure, lets it go downfield, and it hits the ground about the 45 of Fort Morgan. So that'll bring up 4th and 23 from the 37 for Skyline with 4 seconds left in the third period.
Unfortunately for the Falcons, he didn't see the secondary receiver was wide open down the middle for about 15 yards, and threw it into the coverage and had to throw it into the ground.
Excuse me. So Skyline in punt formation. Luciano Quezada back to punt. He fall. Nice deep kick. at the 25, 30, 35. Ulysses Hernandez, he drops the ball. We'll see who gets back on it. Fort Morgan, they're calling Fort Morgan ball. So it'll be first and 10, Fort Morgan from the 37-yard line. At the end of the third quarter, Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 7. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Starting the fourth quarter, Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 7, first and 10 at the 37 for Fort Morgan. So they're looking to have another ball control drive to take some time off the clock and get another score. So Fort Morgan lined up in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Martin's under center. Takes the ball, hands off to Nate Alexander on the right side. He has a gain
Nathan Alexander over the right side.
just outside of the 40-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of, I'm going to give him a gain of 3. So it'll be second and 7 from the 40.
Back to that same play where Bohm leads up the field and blocks the stunting linebacker, and Alexander just cuts off of that block. That time only 3 yards available for him.
So Fort Morgan in the I formation, receivers left and right. Martin's under center, takes the snap, gives it to Alexander over the left side this time. Not much there, and we have a flag in the backfield. Usually in a holding place where you'd see holding called. He only had a gain of about 1. It is holding on Fort Morgan. So they will accept the penalty. So that will make it second down again.
They had the freshman McBride in at fullback on that play, giving Bohm a little bit of a breather.
So that'll be second down for Fort Morgan from the 29-yard line. So it'll be second and 19 from the 29. Fort Morgan, 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left with a lone back, Nate Alexander in the backfield. Martins keeps it. He was going to throw it, and it was covered out there, and he runs it up to about the 31-yard line. So it's a gain of about 2, so it'll be third and 17 from the 31.
That was a wise play by the senior. He looked for the quick screen, and the defender had read it and was in the way, and instead of trying to force something, he just ate the ball and made some positive yardages out of it.
So third and 17 from the 31.
I think a nice run up the middle, even if you have to punt, is better than trying to make it and take a risk at this point of the game.
So receivers right, 1 lone back. Draw play up the middle to Nate Alexander, and could not quite break the tackle. He got it out to the 40, so it was a gain of 9. Well, they're going to mark it. They're going to mark him down about the 38-yard line. So it'll be 4th and 10 for Fort Morgan from the 39.
Looks like we'll see Zwetzig out there again.
So 9:50 and counting in the fourth period. Fort Morgan up 27-7 with the ball. 4th and 9 from their own 38-yard line. Tony Zwetzig back in punt formation. 2 men back for Skyline at about the 31-yard line. Nate Alexander Tony with the ball. Line drive kick. It bounces at about the 30, and it has a nice roll for Fort Morgan. It's going to roll down to the 15-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Skyline from the 15. Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 7. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Back at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, Skyline with a first down play with a pass out to the 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Skyline from the 35.
Looked like maybe that was number 8 on the catch, Dominic Manzanares.
So in the shotgun formation, getting pressure in the backfield. Incomplete pass out about the 45-yard line. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 35.
A little too tall. Cody Davis on the cover.
Fort Morgan had some nice pressure on the quarterback that time, making him rush the ball.
There was some nice pressure. You know, that last punt by Zwedzig was a really nice one. Currently, he's 19th in the state with an average of 41 yards coming into the game. So
nice average.
Doing well.
So Skyline in the shotgun formation. Quarterback with the ball. Throws out to the right. Incomplete. Hit the receiver in the hands, and he dropped it. Then he got popped pretty good for his efforts. So that'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 35.
That's 14th pass attempt by Forsyth.
So 3rd and 10 from the 35. 9:01 left in the fourth period. 27-7. Fort Morgan with the lead. Skyline in the spread formation. Three receivers right, one left in the shotgun formation with the ball. He's getting pressure. Still running, still looking downfield. Deep pass, and it is incomplete. Comes up about 10 yards short of his intended receiver at about the 47-yard line. So that'll bring up 4th and 10 from the 35 for Skyline.
It's going to bring up a 4th down and 10.
Looks like they're going to punt, and I think that's a good decision. Even though you're down, there's no use giving Fort Morgan the ball at the 35-yard, your own 35-yard line. Let's build on some things and try and make some stops on defense.
So 8:52 left in the game, 27-7 Fort Morgan. Skyline is faced with a 4th and 10 from their own 35. Lined up to punt. Nate Alexander and Ulysses Hernandez back at about the 25-yard line, awaiting the punt. And it is a punt downfield, a nice high punt. Bounces about the 34 and rolls to about the 25-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the 25. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Back at Legion Field with 8:32 left in the game. Fort Morgan hands off to Cody Davis, runs around the left side and fumbles the ball, and Skyline has recovered. So it'll be Skyline ball at the 25. 1st and 10 Skyline. Short field to go.
That's kind of the break that Skyline needed. That's the first mistake, really, by Fort Morgan of the night. And you can't really blame him for that. He was spinning around, spun around, was almost running backwards, just trying to get some more yards for his team.
So 1st and 10 for Skyline from the 25. Takes the ball, hands it off to his back. Gets it down to about the 21-yard line. So it'll be about the 22 they're going to mark it. So that's a gain of 3, so we'll call it 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Second down and 7.
So 8 minutes left in the third period. Fort Morgan 27-7. Skyline with the ball, 2nd and 7 from the 23. Snap back to the quarterback, hands it off over the right side to the just outside of the 20. So we'll give him a gain of 3. So it'll be 3rd and 5 from the 20.
Skyline next week at Centaurus. And then they start their league play. Centaurus has Roosevelt, who's tough. Silver Creek, who I think won state last year or was runner-up. Meade, Berthoud, who we've played, and Northridge. So they need to be priming and getting ready for regular season as well.
Skyline in the shotgun formation. Quarterback with the ball. Pitches it left. Runner takes it outside down to the 15-yard line. We'll see if he is. Should be at 1st down, I believe. Yes, it's 1st down Skyline from the 15.
Nice little quick pitch and run around the left side for Quezada.
So 1st and 10 from the 15 for Skyline. Lining up in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers right, 1 left. two backs in the backfield, sends a man in motion, right to left, takes the snap, hands it off over the left side, and gets a gain of about 3 yards down to about the 12. So we'll call it 2nd and 7 from the 12.
At this point, Skyline running the ball, and that's helping Fort Morgan because it's eating the clock. The clock is Skyline's enemy as well as the Mustangs tonight.
So 6:40 left in the fourth period, 27-7 Fort Morgan. Skyline 2nd and 7 from the 12 in the shotgun formation. Takes it, hands off over the right side, and he is down to the, not quite to the 5-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and short, just outside of the 5.
Nice run by Valdez, his 6th of the night. 6 yards, running hard. I just don't think that they can catch up running the ball.
Ball is placed just outside the 5-yard line, 3rd and 8 yards.
So 3rd and 1 from the 6 for Skyline in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle, over the left side, and he is into the end zone for a Skyline touchdown. That would be Israel Valdez for Skyline. So that makes it, there is a flag down, I see. So we'll see what that is all about.
This is against Fort Morgan. I guess it would only be maybe the 2nd penalty because there was that one hold on the kickoff return.
Well, they're talking to Fort Morgan, so it maybe had a celebration or something in the end zone after he scored. I'm not sure. They're talking to the Mustangs about the penalty.
Maybe giving them the choice of having it on the extra point or on the kickoff.
So it's a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on Skyline. So it must have been a celebration penalty on Skyline after the touchdown.
Don't know what happened in that first game against Berthoud. The referee had the mic and we could hear him talking. This game, they're choosing not to do it.
So they will kick the lineup for the extra point. The ball down, kick is blocked. So the extra point is no good. So with 5:52 left in the game, Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 13. You're listening to B106 and B106.com. Legion Field in Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 13. Skyline just scored, missed the extra point. 5:52 left in the game.
Looks like Fort Morgan's coming out with its hands team. Probably a good idea that they went with the penalty on the kickoff so that Skyline has to kick from the 25. So even if they recover the onside, they're going to only get it at the 35, their own 35.
So Skyline getting ready to kick off. They don't line up in the conventional way that you normally see. They're kind of in a circle right now about the 20. And we're there. We got the note from the official, and it is an onside kick. So they need to get on the ball. Fort Morgan is on the ball. Charlie Rodriguez falls on the ball at the Fort Morgan 45. So it'll be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the 45-yard line with 5:47 left in the game. 27-13 Fort Morgan.
Another good play by the senior Rodriguez. Jumping on that. Wasn't he the one that intercepted the pass earlier in the game, I believe?
I believe so, yes. So Fort Morgan 1st and 10 from the 45. So they want to do a little ball control here to run this clock down. Fort Morgan in the I formation. Jared Boehm, Nate Alexander in the backfield. Receivers left and right. Hand off to Boehm up the middle. Excuse me, it wasn't a Toby McBride in the game.
Gain of about 3.
So you got a gain of 3 to the 48 line. So it'll be 2nd 7 from the 48.
Nice to see the freshman getting some reps here towards the end of the game. He has been playing nose guard and doing a good job there for us.
So 5:15 left in the game, 27-13 Fort Morgan. 2nd and 7 from the 47 for Fort Morgan in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Nate Alexander is the deep back. He does get the ball. Started left and then back up the middle. So he might have got a gain of, say they gave him a gain of 1, maybe to the 48. So it'll be 3rd and 6 from the 48.
No gain. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, the defender there got past the blocker and was in the backfield before Alexander really had a chance to make a cut.
So Fort Morgan running some time off the clock. They started this drive with 5:47. It's down to 4 minutes and 25 seconds. 3rd and 7 from the 48. Fort Morgan in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Handoff to Nate Alexander. Bounces it outside to the 50. And is run out of bounds, I believe. Did not get taken out of bounds. The clock is still running, but he is out at about the 47 of Skyline. So it'll bring up 4th and 2 from the 47.
He got hit by 2 defenders in the backfield, and basic fundamentals, Brian, they didn't wrap up. He bounced it to the outside and made a loss turn into a good gain, and now they got 4th and 2 in Skyline territory. Looks like they might be trying to go for it.
Looks that way. I don't see Tony Swetzik out there anywhere, so they're going to try and we'll see if they try to draw him off sides again, if they're going to run the ball. Then we have a flag on the play. Must have been a delay of game. It came from the back judge, so that'll mark him. That'll move him back 5 yards. So that'll be 4th and 7 from the Mustangs' 47-yard line. So 3:21 left in the game. 27-13 Fort Morgan.
Fort Morgan playing well on all facets of the game. Special teams, defense, and offense. Looks good going into the last 6 games.
So back to punt. Gets the ball. Nice kick. Fair caught at about the 21-yard line for Skyline. So it'll be 1st and 10 Skyline from the 21-yard line. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Stubbs Gas and Oil is located at I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. Don't delay and get there today to see why convenience is Stubbs' middle name. Morgan Federal Bank, keeping community banking simple and committed to their community. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Central Auto Parts, for the best prices and special offers on top quality car parts and accessories, visit Central Auto Parts at 1001 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. So Skyline 1st and 10 from the 21 with 3 minutes and 14 seconds. In the shotgun formation, he is back to pass, and he is sacked back at about the 10-yard line. Let's see where they mark it at. It's about the 11, so it's going to be 2nd and 20 from the 11.
Fort Morgan letting the dogs go now on that defense. They're just going in because they know it's going to be a pass.
Skyline in the shotgun formation, 3 receivers right. Quick pass out to the left. And caught out to about the 17-yard line.
Reception tackled by Canada.
So that'll bring up 3rd down for Skyline, about 3rd and 14 from the 16-yard line. Skyline in the shotgun formation. Looks like he's changing the play at the line. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Looking over the middle. He was being drugged down at the 19-yard line. So there's only a gain of 2. So it'll be 4th and 12 from the 19.
4th side is brought down by Jake Frick. Going to bring up a 4th down and 11.
So Skyline is going for it with 1:48 left in the game. Receivers left and right. getting pressure. Getting more pressure on you. He's still looking downfield. Throws it and deflected and incomplete out at about the 37-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 for Fort Morgan.
Number 22.
From the 19-yard line.
The Mustangs are going to take over. First down and 10.
That was a nice defensive stand by Fort Morgan. Although it's pretty easy to defend the pass when you can send as many guys as they were going, and they didn't really have to worry about the run.
Right on the 20-yard line.
So it'll be first and 10 from the 20 for Fort Morgan with 1:36 left in the game. 27-13 Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan with the ball. Should be able to run the clock out unless Skyline decides to use some of their timeouts to stop the clock. So Fort Morgan first down. Martin's under center, takes the ball, hands off to Nate Alexander over the right side. And he is down to about the 16-yard line.
Over the right side, stacked up at about the 17.
So that's a game, we'll call it the 17, a gain of 3. So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 17.
Second down and 7.
Same play that they've been running all game. That's Alexander's 22nd carry. When he's coming out, he looks like he's dog tired.
Had an excellent game. Skyline has elected not to use their timeout, so this game with a minute left in the fourth period. Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 13. 2nd and 7 from the 17. Martin's waiting for the clock, play clock to run down. Under center, takes the snap, hands it off to Bohm up the middle. There is no gain there. And now Skyline decides to call a timeout. So with 38.6 seconds left in the game, it will be about 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 from the 17, so there was no gain on the play.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're calling that timeout unless he just wants to let his kids know, you've played hard and play with class and finish it out. Maybe he's kind of signaling to Fort Morgan it's time to take a knee. I don't know. You never want to quit on any play. I don't know if you follow the NFL, but there was a play last week where one of the teams was just doing the snap, and the other team came across and hit hard, and I think got some grief for that. But as the announcers say, when you're out on the football field and the clock isn't over, you better be ready to play football.
Yeah, the coach was sending him hard. He says you don't take a play off. So now it'll be 3rd and 7 from the 17 for Fort Morgan with 38.6 seconds left. Fort Morgan leading 27-13. Fort Morgan up to the line of scrimmage. 3 backs in the backfield. Martin's with the ball. Hands it up. It is fumbled by Cody Davis out at the 21-yard line. So it will be 1st and 10 Skyline from the 21 with 33 seconds left in the game.
Well, you don't like to end on a mistake like that, but Fort Morgan can still have a lot of things to build on for next week when they, again, go to Denver North at All City Stadium. 1 o'clock start on next Saturday.
So 33.6 seconds left in the game. 1st and 10 at the 24 Skyline. Snap back. Looks downfield. Look to complete the pass, and it is going to be intercepted by Ulysses Hernandez for Fort Morgan out at the 46-yard line. So that will take any chance of Skyline being able to score any more points. So that'll be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from Skyline's 46-yard line with 26 seconds left in the game.
An ill-advised pass, but at that point of the game, he really had no choice but to try and throw it downfield and hope the bounce goes their way. And a very good play by Hernandez.
So 1st and 10 on the 46 for Fort Morgan. 26 seconds left in the game. 27-13 Fort Morgan. Martins has them up to the line. And we are waiting on, I don't know what. I guess Martins with the ball. Takes a knee. So with 20 seconds left in the game, Skyline choosing not to use their timeouts. That will be the last play of the game. So Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 13. Nice victory for the Mustangs as the clock runs out on the game. So 27-13 Fort Morgan. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field in Fort Morgan, where the Mustangs have defeated the Falcons from Skyline 27-13. Not much scoring in the second half. It was 20-7 at the half. So each team only scoring a touchdown in the second half. Fort Morgan scored on a 9-play drive, culminating with Cody Davis, who else, on a 7-yard touchdown run, and the extra point was good by Jacob Frick. And then after a few possessions, it was quite a defensive, more of a defensive game in the second half. So after 2 or 3 different possessions, Skyline scored on a 6-play drive on a 6-yard run by Israel Valdez, and the extra point was no good. So that brought us to the end of the scoring, 27-13 for Fort Morgan. So let's take a short break and be back to Legion Field with some stats from Kevin. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Fort Morgan Legion Field, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs have defeated the Skyline Falcons 27-13. The Mustang postgame show is brought to you by High Plains Bank and Wiggins. The friendly staff at High Plains Bank and Wiggins is ready to assist you with a home loan, equity line of credit, commercial loan, or checking account. To receive hometown service on a higher plane, visit High Plains Bank today. Kevin, I think you have some second half stats for us.
On the individual side for Fort Morgan, Martins finishes the game with 1 completion on 6 attempts. That's the 162-yard touchdown pass earlier in the game to Davis. He also had 4 runs for 8 yards. Alexander finishes the game with 22 runs for 113 yards. Bohm, 7 carries for 15. Pineda, 2 for 4. McBride, 1 carry for 3 yards. And then the man of the night, Cody Davis, had 1 reception for 62-yard touchdown and 7 runs for 49 yards, including 3 other rushing touchdowns. Fort Morgan finishes the night 1 of 6 for 62 passing and 43 rushes for 192. Nice, just a little under 5 yards per carry. For Skyline, they end up, well, that's a total of 254 yards of offense for Fort Morgan. For Skyline, they only had 182, 110 of it on the ground with 31 carries, under 4 yards per carry. The Mustangs held them. And their passing they had 6 completions on 18 attempts for a total of 72 yards with the 2 interceptions. And Brian, I think if we look at the game, it's kind of like we talked about. Is the 14-point difference, does it really come down to the mistakes that Skyline made, the penalties, the interceptions, the fumble on the opening kickoff? I think these two teams were pretty well matched, and Fort Morgan took advantage of the mistakes Skyline made, and Skyline made too many mistakes.
Too many mistakes early, and Fort Morgan, like you said, did take advantage of it. It got it was a pretty defensive battle in the second half, and then it got kind of sloppy there towards the end. But in the end, it got Fort Morgan off of the losing side of the bracket and back into the winning side of the bracket where they needed to be to get some momentum going into the next game at All City Stadium next week against Denver North.
Absolutely. What a difference the season makes. Last year, their 4 wins coming on the road and 1 loss on the road, and then the all 5 of the home games were losses. And so far this season, the 2 wins at home and the 2 losses on the road. Let's hope next week we reverse that and get a win against a Denver North team that's going to be ready to play. Even if they lose tonight, they're playing Berthoud up in Berthoud tonight. Even if they were to lose that or or win that convincingly, we've got to be ready for a difficult game. Those kids in Denver, know how to play football, and they're not going to have any quit in them.
That's for sure. They come out ready to play every week. We'll take another short break, and then we'll be back to wrap up the post-game show. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Legion Field, where the stands have cleared, the teams have left. Fort Morgan victorious over Skyline 27-13. Good momentum taking us next week to All City Stadium against Denver North.
Right, Brian, it's our last non-league game, and Fort Morgan would really like to get a win on the road under their belts. As we talked earlier, it's a day game, which will be a little bit unusual for Fort Morgan fans. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Never been to All City Stadium. I believe it's an artificial turf field with all the Denver high schools, Denver public schools playing on that field. It's going to be fun.
It should be. It'd be nice to see a big crowd there to support these boys after the nice win that they've had tonight. And if you can't be there, then join us on B106 and B106.com as we will bring you the game at 1 o'clock next week from All City Stadium.
Brian, I agree with you on that, and I think, we fail to say this from time to time, but I really think if you're listening to the game and enjoying being able to be a part of Mustang football, even though you're not here, you should stop by and thank some of the sponsors, because they make that possible for us to be on the air and enjoy bringing the game to you folks.
That's for sure, and we have quite a number of sponsors, and when you're in those businesses, give them a thanks for sponsoring Fort Morgan Athletics. So once again, Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 13. The sound engineer and producer of Fort Morgan Mustangs football is in Braden Godin. For Kevin Rohde, I'm Brian Nickel, and once again the final score, Fort Morgan 27, Skyline 13. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com.